Ronin. We're about to start the show for real. For some reason you couldn't hear us. We did a little intro. Nobody could hear it, so that's fucking awesome. We're gonna do it again. But yeah, we got an exciting show today, man. It's Woku Radio. The Woku team's gonna be pulling up. We got Woku Weekly going on. And we're gonna look through that and go through the article as well. The first hour we will chill and we'll talk about everything that's been successful on Ronin so far. And then upon 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is in 50 minutes, we should be graced by the presence of one snake that is being devoured by a bear and is now called Bear Snake, and also some other guys from the Runiverse team. So come 10 p.m., it will be all strictly Runiverse. We will go fully into the Wizarding Core.
Radio? No, you're going to have to read the Woku Weekly.
Oh, wow. They did us like that. We also got Finn in the building too, my brother. What's going on? Are you a wizard? Squad photo or something, some cool content today when everybody is in game. We're gonna meet up somewhere in game, and yeah, we'll get a big screenshot. But let's. I do need to sneeze. Kind of crazy, but as soon as I mentioned it, it felt like it went away. Anyway, listen, let's fucking start the show. Let's do what we need to do. What is going on? It's Tuesday. You know what's here? We're here with the Woku Weekly link up, bro. Shout out to the Woku community, man. These lot put in work. I checked the chat this morning. They've been working through the late nights, even though different time zones, all that stuff. We're gonna bring Cammy up to the stage so we can talk about the Woku Weekly. But yeah, it's another one of our collaborative Tuesday shows. We want to get you guys, the community, a bit more tapped in, and you can feel a part of it, man. We've still got some stuff going on with giveaways. There's a Spirit Guardian up for grabs, and also there is a beautiful code hidden in every single Woku Weekly, so you do need to go read it, you know, just even if it's a code sakes. But at the end of the day, you get a community update on everything that's going on in the space right now. That's how we're going to start the show, and then afterwards we will talk about August, the month of August. How has August been? Was it successful? In my opinion, absolutely. And, you know, a lot of things that we've seen do well this month. TMA, Peter A, the Wild Forest season, Ragmon CBT, Axie's Premier Bounty Board is fucking nuts. It's actually so good now. I'm looking at it from a month basis. I made racks. I don't even lie. It's kind of crazy. Lumaterra also, was it the greatest CBT of all time with its volume on Mavis Market? There's a lot of questions we might ask today, and we'll hopefully get some answers. But by the time we cover all these things, it should be time to jump into the Runiverse for real. So if you're excited for that, let me know. If you're a wizard, let me know. Show me your screenshots from the gameplay. If you had to start from square one in Runiverse yesterday, you ain't got, like, just come in here, put the show on, and lock the fuck in, because you got some catching up to do, right? If you are not level 15 and over, you got some catching up to do. So you know what to do. Lock in. Let's focus. But logic, we may as well do this again because the brothers of another's did not hear us. But good morning to you, sir. And how is my partner in crime, bro? What's going on?
Good morning, bro. I'm doing good. I've been I grinded Runiverse for, like, I don't even know, almost 12 hours yesterday. And yeah, we're just looping, you know, we're just mana farming, and I'm fading the dungeon right now because yesterday it was a little buggy, which is expected, right? It was like server load issues, too many people trying to play. I mean, like Ronin effect, you know, normal things that happens in first days of games. But otherwise, yeah, I found my thing, and it's good.
You found your thing. We're gonna call it a thing, so we don't have to press too much on the conversation. Yeah, no, it's cool stuff. I think the dungeon was the reason that I logged out yesterday. We played for a little bit. It was difficult to get a squad together, but eventually I just thought, you know what? Okay, I'm not about to sit here and do this. So hopefully today is brighter. It's a better day for that. Of course, with the amount of people that are trying to play Runiverse right now, I imagine the game has not seen demand like it before. These are some interesting questions that we will ask later on today, because I want to know just how much demand is actually going on. You've seen some of those images of the global player base, or the amount of people that are signing in from what location, etc. And we are touching the entire globe from east to west. Crazy. There's participation across that whole. The whole fucking world. I need to pull it up at some point. We'll get a screen share going. But there's a lot of people and a lot of places playing in Runiverse right now. But I think we should jump into this one by saying good morning, Cammy, the butthole initiator. Woku Weekly is back. What's going on, man? What do we have today? Sean, I think we shared the link in chat, so if you scroll up, you can access it through X. There it is. I'm going to share screen too, so you guys can see it if you don't have the capability to look at two things at once, because multitasking, yeah, crazy. I've got one monitor as well, and I actually feel like a pleb. I feel like I can't do anything, but anyway, this is where we're at. But yes, Woku Weekly, week number 3. And yo, shout out to this image, but also not a big shout out, because who the hell covered Nightcore's beautiful ass with a donut? Why are we doing that? I do not condone this.
Appropriate.
No, this is inappropriate. This is the opposite of appropriate.
But yeah, the front page was made by BioArtem again. So
Shout out to BioArtem. He's been eating.
Just crushes. They're so good. I'll just put their thing in chat. But yeah, every week they come together with me and we just bounce ideas around for a while. I'm just like, wait, I think I actually have the suggestion picture that I sent them for the original idea, and you can tell that I am most certainly not an artist. But it also just goes to show how good of an artist they are, because the fact that they turned this image into what they have on the screen right now is kind of insane once I posted in chat. But yeah, no, I'm really, really happy with how this issue came out. We like really came together as a team this time and properly locked in, and we actually added an extra page and stuff like that and had a lot of new ideas. So
cool.
Yeah, I put it in chat there now. That was the original image I posted to BioArtem, and I was like, turn this into something amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it literally said Web3 with her butt. That's fucking wild, Cammy. I hope you know that.
Dude, that was a okay.
Wow.
But yeah, that just goes to show how good BioArtem is, that they could create what's on the screen out of what I gave there. So yeah.
You always can tell a good artist by the shit, like how shit the prompt is, but how good the final product comes out as. That's literally like the determining factor. I had the same experience with David as Azul. You guys might know him in the community. I will literally draw the worst Microsoft Paint images ever, and he manages to understand it and turn it into absolute art. So yeah, shout out to you, BioArtem. This is another fire cover. 2 for 2 though, because we've got the other week's art piece that was the cover on there. But this is still live, right? Let's talk about this a little bit here, because I don't think we're getting the demand that I probably anticipated. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it's just like we definitely are, like, obviously community trying to build the newsletter kind of thing. So we're not going to get everything right away. And we keep looking at like this giveaway thing and like why the submissions aren't being churned out and whatever like that. And it could be like down to a number of things. But the conclusion for this week was that we probably weren't clear enough about the instructions on how to get submissions into us.
Yeah.
And just like what we were actually looking for. So like I will step up and take the bullet here and say like we're kind of rejigging the giveaway. It's still happening, obviously. We now have a set deadline, which is September 8th. We have like clear instructions on what to do. You can just share your content using Woku Weekly and come through. That's cool. Like that's fine. But we have a backup plan now, and we have everything in place this time. And like that's just part of, you know, learning the space and learning how to get information across to people. So,
yeah, gotta be flexible, man.
But we'll make it work. We'll make it work.
Yeah, so there's still a chance, as you can see right here. If you submit things, there is a spirit guardian going away. If we don't get the submissions that we need, we're saying we'll basically raffle away the spirit guardian to community members. So
I think that's the best protocol to go for.
Yeah, so don't fucking let me down. I don't want to do a raffle. So that's what we like to see. But the next page, we'll turn it over. Open the treasured book. The event recap for this week. We've got embarrassing Ragmon loser. Believe it or not, until the end of the CBT, one of the Woku Weekly team members never won a single match. I want to hear about it, bro. Ragmon, who was it? Actually, can we guess? Does anyone have a guess? Logic, you got a guess?
I think they might be in chat right now.
Oh my god!
Like
my guess
was a rough time.
My guess was sweet potato. She's terrible.
I don't know. Did Sweet Potato play Raimon? I know Sean was struggling for a while. Sean, did you end up getting?
Sean did win a game though.
What was happening?
He did.
He eventually won.
I was there in Moki's corner when he won some games.
Now both.
Yeah.
He turned to gold. Okay, Sean blew up.
What do we think of the game though? Logic, you were quick to throw it out the fucking window, right? Like, where are you at? Have you played since?
Yeah, the game, has a lot of improvements that needs to be made. And I don't know, I'm spoiled and I'm biased, right? It's not my type of game. I've never really played like Clash of Clans or anything like that, so it's really new for me.
Well,
Yeah.
it's also a game that just doesn't require a lot of gatekeeping, so that's immediate.
Yeah, it's like the gatekeeping is built in the game, and I don't
Yeah.
like that. It's
Yeah.
built in with the
You
like
can't
the percent
monetize that.
chance rolls.
Yeah, you can't monetize that, so I get it.
But I mean, overall, I do think the game itself is good. Like, there's certain aspects of it that I think is interesting. Like, it's kind of like Web 2.5 rather than Web 3. But I do think that's only because it's only the CBT phase, right?
Mhm.
They made everything super easy to get with the chest, with the gems, with
Yes.
the daily rewards. So I don't think it's like the proper experience. But in terms of game itself, I mean, it looks pretty good. I mean, it played really well.
Yeah.
I'm a noob at it for damn sure.
Yes.
But yeah.
Well, let us know, man. If you're in the chat right now, give us a sentence, a summary of some feedback. We'll tap into it. I mean, personally, for me, it was from the get go when we knew it was a tower defense. It was like kind of wanted the MMO style thing, but it's a very difficult game genre to build out. But I was quietly impressed. The first day I was very excited to play it. The experience was fun. The second day, however, because of the one thing that I think it's failed on is obviously the matchmaking, right? So the experience of playing the game is pretty much a roulette of if you go up against someone weaker than you, you'll probably win. If you go up against someone stronger than you, you are most definitely going to lose. So like until that point, I was loving it, bro. I was ready to be like, I should really consider tamer status and different things like this. But yeah, the second day was kind of rough, man. It was kind of rough. So of course, CBTs, these are the first instances. I don't know if it's like ready and primed for a full game release right now. Hopefully the CBT has provided the medium for where feedback can come to the team and they can make the adjustments needed. But matchmaking is 100% needed to be looked at and to be reconfigured essentially, because it just feels bad. Like you got a level 4 tower, you go up against level 8, you just die.
I think
that was insane.
Yeah, I was gonna chime in here because I think the thing that I've at least heard most people kind of like talking about, I think is very similar. Is like it almost feels like very early in Wild Forest, which I think was why a lot of people disliked it in the beginning, because the matchmaking was done in a way that like if you went against somebody, it was like within the first 30 seconds you knew if you're gonna win or lose.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a frustrating place to play a game always, is like, I don't know, when I join a game, like I don't want to know if I'm gonna win or lose right away.
Yeah.
I want to think I'm gonna win, and then I want to be challenged, or like, I want to like think I'm gonna win, and then dominate because I do the right things. And I think the matchmaking with Ragmon, like I was talking to Nix about it, it was like really annoying me because I was like, the second I started the game, all I had to look at was the level of their tower, and I would immediately know if I was gonna win or lose, and that sucks because that's not a fun experience. So I'm hoping that they like adjust it a little bit. I'm hoping they fix MMR a little bit. I know they made some matchmaking updates, but I was then again for the last like, I don't know, day and a half of the CBT was still kind of encountering those same issues. But like otherwise, I think it's a fun game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like my personal a game that I will play a ton of just because of the style. Like personally, I'm not a big kind of like lane-based tower defense player. But I'm gonna give it every shot I can, and I'm gonna give it every chance I can give it to add it into my rotation.
Yeah, yeah. Great mobile game though. Like the feel for it on
Yeah.
a mobile device is
Smooth.
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, everything works. That's the big thing, right?
The big thing it'll hinge on, like, I think people may have gotten the wrong perspective on it because of how juiced the rewards were. Like, we were getting like, bro, I had like 200,000 gems by the end of the thing, so I could just keep rolling the shop and stuff. So I think everything was juiced up, and that's probably why everyone was such high level and the matchmaking was so janky, was because the game was not ready to process people being like level 7 with level like 8 dragon already and stuff like that. So like it being a Web3 game, people have spent a lot of money on Ragmon tickets and getting the Ragmons throughout the last couple of months. So it's going to be a big thing for them to ensure that those people feel like they're playing with assets that have value, and that the free NFT, or not the free NFTs, the free troops they get is not going to be like, because people could play the whole beta with just free troops. Like, they could have easily done that. Like, there's no point in using your NFTs at all.
I actually wanted to talk about that.
I'm going to assume that they just gave everyone everything, basically, just to look for bugs, look for any possible inclination of what could be meta, like all of that kind of stuff. You're giving people access to everything, and then you can see what's broken. I'm assuming that's the process they go for, because if the game comes out and it's that easy to get regular troops, then there's no point using the NFTs. They're going to be in a big problem with how many people spent on chimeras and everything. It's not going to end well.
Yeah, yeah. So that was like the damning nature of it for me, was the fact that like I came away from that experience. It's called, it's not Momo, our artist, but it's the monkeys. And I was like, bro, like, I'll be real with you. I am not going to Mavis Marketplace to buy tickets this time. Like, I'm really not.
Exactly the same. I literally didn't buy them. It was the first time I didn't buy Ragmon stuff. I was like, nope, I'm done. Like, it's not worth.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll see some change in that, because like you said, if the sentiment like that carries through, then one, you're gonna have everybody that was in anticipation, potentially, and again, like it's the space, it comes with it, it's the nature of the space. Like, you overextend, or you kind of put all eggs in one basket, it could lead to your own downfall, essentially. But yeah, I feel like it will just make the people that have done that and been here from the get-go, from the jump, and showed faith, will be left kind of feeling a bit sour, if that whole concept of the NFTs aren't really that valuable. Like, it doesn't really matter if you got an NFT or not. It's gonna feel bad for those guys. So hopefully we see some pivoting happening. But the best part about it though is the fact that the actual game itself is smooth, and it was a good game, and for me it was very enjoyable to play up to an extent, up to a certain point. Like that, like I said, day one was a lot of fun for me, and figuring out the strategy, understanding how to counter units, those different types of things. I had a good time figuring it out, and enjoyed that for the most part. So shout out to Ragmon. Let's see, hopefully we get it together, and yeah, I think the next part of their roadmap though is now for the game release in September, right? So that does kind of make me a little nervous, but maybe we'll find out some more information over the next coming weeks. If we hear anything, Finn, if you hear anything, please do let us know, and we'll cover it. So
Here on what?
If Ragmon's roadmap changes in any way, shape, or form, because I think it was this CBT that's just finished, and then game released in September, right?
Maybe.
Okay, awesome. We'll leave on that note. Fucking gatekeepers out here, man. You and Logic breed.
Good luck to my sanity.
Oh god. Okay.
Just good luck.
You heard it here first, mate. Get the fuck ready. September is gonna be a big month. I can tell.
Late September, early October. A lot going on. Well, actually, shit. No, yeah, late September. Yeah. End of September, early October. There's gonna be a whole slew of new things that you guys are gonna have to figure out how to invest your time in.
You know what?
My goal is that you guys are as overwhelmed as I am.
This is what I'm saying. Like,
just like bring you guys to my level of overwhelmed, panicked, anxious nature. Then we'll be good.
You know what's crazy though? If we're considering, yeah, if we're considering now as quiet in comparison to what it's gonna be, we're fucked, bro. We are
There's
so
yeah,
fucked.
I mean, there's a reason. I would actually say we're a little quiet right now,
Mhm.
just
I
because
think
we've been
that's
gearing
fair.
up for a lot. I think Token 2049's a big thing coming up. Big event calls for, you know, big
News.
stuff.
Wow. Well, we're gonna keep turning that dial up a little bit more. So, find your niches, find your game ecosystems, lock in, and maybe there'll be some new ones for you to discover coming up in the next few weeks/months. Exciting times, exciting times. But one thing that did
I will be
come.
back shortly, by the way. I'll be back shortly.
Okay, no problem, no
I'm
problem.
not gone forever. I'll be back in like 50.
Yeah, it's hard for me to not weep for the rest of the show when you do leave, but okay, I understand. Sentaku.
The sauce.
What did we see this week? Well, last week that was new. We saw the Cyberkongs collab with Adidas, which is fucking crazy. Talking about it here just slightly. If you didn't know, if you weren't aware, I believe. Let's see if I can actually.
I think their store is actually going live in the next couple of hours.
Really? Yeah. So Cyberkongs did a collaboration with Adidas. The Amaki, however you pronounce it, they revealed their utility. Their utility was, in fact, to redeem a role to gain some of these prices. What did they call it? What was the whole thing called? Like
Taco
Centaur, yeah. So I'm gonna just sign in here real quick so we can actually get a first person view of how the shit went down. Shout out to my small balance at the moment. Here it is. So the Sentaku is here. Jesus, I just connected the wallet. Come on. Don't do this. Don't do this.
Sentaku and
They
Maki.
were releasing the manga, and they actually put a lot of work into the manga. It's actually pretty cool, but this is a new phase of the thing, I think, that rolled out. So the Sentako thing is more about using the Amaki scrolls to get items for your Genkai PFP or physical items.
Yeah.
as well.
So we had some physical items, a hoodie, a bomber,
Oh, they've
jacket.
for sale, are they? This is. Oh,
No, I think it's just revealing them. It's just showing what's available. I really, really, really wanted this hoodie. Was unsuccessful.
the wings are the sickest. The Adidas wingsuit.
Yeah.
Fucking badass, bro.
Yeah. Well, it was all there. These are all the items that you were able to redeem. If you had an Amaki, you swapped it in. You could go to this. I don't know why it's not letting me go to it, right? The Sentaku, but I can't even click Ronin Wallet. So that's fun. But yeah, ultimately you exchanged an Amaki for a roll. You clicked one of the cards. It generated a item for rewards. I got 3 backgrounds because I had 3 Amaki. So yeah, just got 3 fresh backgrounds to change on my Genkai, I guess. So I mean, it's pretty cool. This is the exposure now of understanding that as a PFP collection, how you could add some dynamic elements to that NFT, right? So using the Amaki.
They have a new collection on Mavis Market now too, where like you can see some of the things you can actually buy, some of the assets. But I'm actually still kind of go to the Amaki maybe. I think the Amaki section just got expanded.
Yep,
Yeah.
background modifier, all that stuff. Yeah. So the Amaki's still holding the price at 6 ROM, bro. $11 right now for an Amaki is pretty hefty. It doesn't tell us how many was left though. Oh, it does.
Before.
Yeah, it does.
People are burning it, right?
Yeah,
so it's
people
the
are burning
ticket to
it.
burn the gacha, which is like a gacha thing. Which I mean, it's cool. I fuck with it. I wish I got the hoodie, but I got a background modifier, so.
I'm still I still have my Amaki scroll because I'm kind of on the fence. But I know there's a store opening up today, and I don't know if that's what we're looking at right now. But there's a store.
Well, they're locked.
Buy certain items.
They're probably going to do it on this Mavis Marketplace, bro. For this to be here.
I wonder if you check their Twitter. I think they put out a tweet about it actually.
Let's see. The PFP running game is the Cyberkongs Adidas week has arrived. Throughout the week, limited edition collectibles drop in. Check out the items that will be available to purchase, featuring kimono, beanie, utility vest, and wing unit. Will you be fast enough? So there is going to be a page, I suppose. Did anyone ask that question? What shop will they be made in? Yeah, people are asking about that. We do need to know.
I'll have a look in their Discord because I think they put an announcement up. Okay.
We can check now.
Cyberkong X Adidas item will be available to purchase today at 3 p.m. UTC. I don't know the whole conversion there, but 3 p.m. UTC is when the first thing is
Mm.
It'd be
available.
in 1.5 hours.
Okay. Yeah, so that's when they're releasing the first item. So I assume that just means that this skips the gotcha element and people can buy them directly if they're fast enough. There's probably a limited amount.
So it is on Ronin though as well.
Yes, it seems to be. But like, is that a launchpad? Like, is that on the Mavis?
Well, it's
IRL items.
it says the shop is on Ronin. That's all it says. The shop is on Ronin with.
Where was it the locked items we're looking at, Gila? I wonder, do they unlock and they have a certain amount of mints or something? I guess.
I guess they'll give you the what would be cool. Obviously, you know, it's part of the mission statement, but the economic freedom, so you can sell them on Mavis Market, but you also have a shop where you, as a consumer, you could buy it directly, and there's a supply for direct purchasing.
Yeah,
so
I'm still on the fence about this whole thing, but I think it's new. It's like a new like direction with the PFP concept, and it's probably the very start of what they're rolling out long term. But like, yeah, I don't know. The Genkai are still a bit of a question mark for me, to be honest.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I mean, we're on a gaming chain, and as long as there's no game, it's always going to have a bit of a questionable spot. But ultimately, you know, as a PFP though, if we take it into that realm and just understand Cyberkong as a PFP, which is, you know, they're still openly promoting themselves as that. You see it right here, the PFP for Ronin gamers. Like, that's still their bag, right? Like, they're not claiming to be a game. They're not claiming to be game assets, like, yet, or even just in a general basis. So, you know, I mean, it would make more sense for the IP, in my opinion, for them to broadly grow out through, you know, the story, through the manga, through animation series, to build up enough of a fan base to where a game becomes almost like impossible to not create, because it's so heavily demanded. The anime was so cool, the lore is so cool. I want to go explore the world of Cyberkongs, or the Genkai specifically, like, to get to that point, and then already have been in the process of development, so that we don't have the reverse output which we normally get of like the game and then you building all of these lore elements afterwards, right? So there's many different routes that have been taken on Ronin anyway, with different projects and different collections. So I think this is just this is the Genkai's roadmap. Essentially, they're gonna focus heavily on the lore. They're gonna obviously keep it up to date with the utility factor, of the asset factor, of having them as dynamic and able to be, you know, customized. This is the first of potentially many. So I'm happy to see a little bit of buzz around the Genkai again, and you know, it's not shied away from activity. There's been enough people taking part in the Sentaku, and people being very, very pleased about that and very happy about that. I mean, if I had this PFP right here, bro, with these fucking Adidas wings, I'll be shouting about it too. So, but yeah, that was one of the cool things that happened over the last week. Let me know, did you guys update your Genkai? Has anyone changed their background yet? Let us know. Send us a screenshot if you have. We'll look at it.
I guess on my end, I almost feel a little desensitized to some of these collabs, but it's an awesome collab. Like, and I'm just wondering, like, when you guys say like, "Hey, I'm on the fence," you know, what would it take? Because you know, like, this is Adidas. Is
Bro,
this just like the desensitization of like PFP collabs over the last couple of years? Are we looking at Artifact and saying like,
yeah,
maybe I'll wait to see how this shakes out. Like, what is the thing? Because Adidas is pretty big.
It's
I didn't see
fantastic
it
that they
coming.
got a partnership with Adidas. Like, I think that's like quotation marks a very mainstream. Like, you know, like, it's great that they're getting in touch with like those kind of companies and stuff like that. I'm just like, I'm on the fence about like seeing where it leads to. Like, where does this go for like holding the asset on Ronin? Like, people have been holding the Genkais for over a year now, and this is the first kind of utility quotation marks that's been given for them in a year. And I know it takes
Right.
a long time to build these things. It takes it's a lot, but it's cool getting a partnership with Adidas and like very cool. Like, you know, that's awesome. I'm not saying that's not awesome, but it's just like, how interactive is it? Adidas going to be with the Genkai things? Are they going to promote it? Are they going to, or is it just like you're taking a well-known brand name and we're like, oh guys, we're making a partnership. Here's a few hoodies. Here's this, and then it's just like, oh, that's over with now. So
Right.
if they expand on it and keep it going, get more partnerships and stuff like that, maybe some other brands are going to be like, oh damn, like
That's cool. Yeah, well, let's do
like
it too.
cyber. Yeah, exactly. So it definitely opens the door for more opportunities, and maybe they have the next 3-6 months planned out, and we're just looking at the tip of the iceberg. Like, I mean,
I'm on the same lines as that, bro, for real. Like,
Yeah.
and how I saw it, like, in my view, was the fact that, like, if you look at cybercongs as a whole, a lot of the people that were in that community, you know, they're very early adopters of crypto. They've been around for a while. It's always been a PFP community, and then having ways of some kind of yield, and you know, Genkai coming to Ronin. A lot of myself, if I speak for myself, and then people who are, you know, Ronin gamers, and then Cyberkongs comes onto Ronin platform. Like, the Genkai was an opportunity to kind of get within that. And some people are here with the perspective of, yes, this is Cyberkongs, look what it's done in the past. Like, are we going to get the similar thing with the Genkai? Will we get a yield experience? If it's not a yield experience, is it a game experience? And I think, like Cami said, after a year and some change into the process, like, we haven't really been given any of those things. And then, you know, a collaboration with Adidas is fucking massive when you look at it in the grand scheme of things. To collaborate with such big companies in the mainstream media is huge. But would it turn to be actually it's just making the people who know about Genkai and know about Cyberkongs excited, and then all that ends up happening is we put more money into the projects because for us it's exciting, but on an external scope it means nothing to any other people. And yeah, so like the statement really is like, is it actually benefiting Genkai holders as such? Like, we can talk about it and say, oh well, the collection that I really like just collabed with Adidas, or are we actually just not being farmed, but like it's just a shiny thing for us to put more money into ultimately. So it's like on the fence of those two things. For me, if you wanted a true answer, if Genkai just released a Black Myth Wukong game, there you go.
Oh, easy. Yeah.
Easy. It's fucking
But,
GG's.
like, it's up to them whether they use this as just here now you finally have something, or they use it as a springboard to really take them to the next level with the Genkai thing. Like, and when Genkai first came out, like, it's before my time on Ronin or whatever like that, but from my understanding, they were very expensive. Like, the Genkai was a very expensive mint. So, like, I would like to think the users that have held it for over a year now, waiting for something, do get value and stuff, and it's not just a gotcha thing. Like, hopefully they keep expanding for those users.
Well, we were talking about Genkai. I didn't know that Bear Snake sneaky snaked up onto the stage.
Yeah. The boys here. We are definitely covering Runiverse for the back end of the show. Like, it's going to be total domination. Runiverse conversation only, donuts fucking everywhere. But we're going to finish the Woku Weekly this week's edition before we get into that. We've got Runiverse in here on the event recap page too, so we'll touch on that. But yeah, welcome to Bear Snake. Glad that you've been able to come through and join us. And we should be finishing up on the Woku Weekly edition for this week, and then we'll jump right into the Runiverse convo. So exciting times, bro. TMA takeover. We saw it throughout last week. Moku HQ was taken over by TMA. You guys were playing ranked battles and collecting some rewards. There was a leaderboard system going on there too. TMA P2A has been fantastic for me. The Moki gang descended upon the arena of machines for 5 jam-packed days, grinding some W's, all for a shot at reaching the top 100 on the leaderboard for the juicy TMA airdrop. The TMA airdrop is coming, bro. It's, you know, we spoke to Kent last week. A lot of their ethos is about putting money back into the community, and if it's not directly to the community, it's through competitive outlets. So we'll see tournaments and things like that becoming more apparent in the near future. But yeah, TMA is doing fucking awesome this month, and one of the top contenders in August. And it's good to see that having a few community events here in the Moku Discord, to then having the Moku HQ takeover really synergized it, lined up, and a lot of the players here in this Discord would have been reaping the benefits from that. But a lot of participation, a lot of quests went down last week. So if you were all up in there, let me know. If anyone in here was on that leaderboard, let me know in the chat, man. Like, yo, give me a screenshot. Let me know what he was up to. But I don't think we need to talk too heavily about the TMA here. We've spoken about it for the last 2 weeks. It's they're doing a great job. So shout out to the TMA team and also the Moku team, both for an excellent questing process for the last 5 days throughout last week. I think it was Monday evening or Tuesday throughout the rest of the week. So nothing broke. So we did good. Good games. And I know Cam, you're probably playing some TMA as well. We got some avid fans in the Moku Discord. So
we were grinding. We were grinding for sure. It was a lot of grinding, but we got it done.
yeah, I like this one. The next title, Forgotten Runiverse, Cross the Forgotten Out, because this game was never forgotten, ladies and gentlemen. When the CBT closed every day, I longed and prayed at my blood offering circle for this experience to come back. Not so Forgotten Runiverse is coming back to us. Get ready to get hands-on with the big cock-a-doodle die again. And a lot of players now, because we were open beta test, they weren't actually available to play during the closed beta test, so it'll be their first time experiences. So I hope everybody's having a fun time with that. The lore, the story, for me, the introduction to the game was arguably the best that we've had on Ronin as of yet, to get you into the mix of things. So there'll be a lot of new players experiencing the Forgotten Runiverse right now, bro. So today is that day. We are going to jump in game later on in the show. We'll all meet up, and I want to get the biggest screenshot of wizards that we can get today. All right, that is on the agenda. And I'm gonna press Bear Snake and Jitsi for some stuff to see what we could do with that. But yeah, the Forgotten Runiverse is here. If you have not played it yet and this is your first time going into the open beta, make sure you reserve some time, because you are gonna get locked in. You're gonna get hooked, man. But great experience. Looking forward to the next 2 weeks essentially to be a sweaty wizard grinder. I know Logic already is, but that is definitely top news for me this week. Obviously, Forgotten Runiverse is in the building. The Egu life, all right. Goals of it to bring your Mokis to life. It's story plus art. Next week we will be doing storyline submissions and start on art submissions as well. I don't know, like Cammy, you want to take this one? Bruce, you want to take this one? As being as you putting out the posts as well. I'm finding more out about this myself, so I'd like to hear a little bit more.
Yeah, Bruce dropped a small message into one of the channels about storyline submissions, and then I think somebody like gave a whole background story to their Moki and a whole lore thing. So I assume that's what we're going for here. And then we just kind of ran with it, and we were like, let people create the and very much on brand with the Forgotten Runiverse section for this week, like that. Like, people were giving lore to their wizards, and we thought that was so awesome. So we're like, we already see people embodying their Mokis or getting Mokis that look like them or like feel like them. So we're just like, it'd be cool if people started giving background stories to their Mokis as well. So that's kind of what we ran with. And Bruce can probably expand on it though.
Sorry, I'm laughing because I've just seen Finn. Let's go.
Everybody looked at Forgotten Runiverse and is like, we're not asking permission. We're making lore for our Mokis, and we don't care. It wasn't something that we intentionally thought of, but tomorrow we will be putting out a guide verse, a guidebook for the Egu Islands. So you'll have a lot of lore that we've been working on to help inform how you think about your Moki, and then how we think about the game. It was primarily supposed to be used for the game, which is like giving you setting, lore, background for some of the things that might be going on in the community game. But now you can use it for everything. So,
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, we just ran with what we got, so now we have an answer.
yeah.
Awesome. Hey, if it works, it works. Don't fucking break it.
We'll feature characters, of course. So
Well, our
if you're taking
our
the time,
idea was to have a either feature article or like a few pages in a special edition version. If we get like a lot of people giving story to their Mokies, we'll have a whole thing where every person will have their page, they'll have their Moki story, their Moki picture, and stuff like that. Like we're totally down to create something like that if enough people do it.
yeah,
Yep.
totally down.
The ball is in your court, community. What do you want to fucking do, mate? What do you want to do? All right, we've still got some stuff going on here. There actually is a code. There's a secret code hidden somewhere within this article as well. I don't know if you've seen it yet, lads and ladies, but if you go to Moku HQ right now, they are asking for codes and submissions, and you can get some points. So if you find it, you find it. If you don't, you fucking suck. Anyway, Leak Corner. Leak Master 69 whispers this photo at us and ran away, leaving a trail of juice. Yes, juice. What juice?
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's the only thing I'll say is that's not for the community game.
Okay.
We don't
Wow.
have any more information either. Like we're as confused as everybody else. Bruce is like, take this, and we can't tell you anything else. So we were coming to some conclusions, but we have no idea.
The light is shining out of Nightcore's asshole.
Talking about it.
Yeah, we're going to move on. But for sale, a TMA Fnatic player who was so desperate for a VIP pass, he sold his soul to the devil. And apparently the devil really needed a good ass. Who is he? Who the fuck sold their ass? Anyone? Anyone want to own up?
I don't
I don't know what that means. I'm scared.
Yeah, I'm scared too, bro. What are you talking about here? Who sold their ass to the devil? Find out on next week's show. But the butt shines, the butt shine is just, it's perfectly placed. But this is the end of our Woku Weekly this week. Like we said, we cover all of the small things that are happening in the community, the games that are important, the events that are important. And of course, there's always a secret code in there for you guys to redeem. More of the community stuff that comes out, like the Egu Life right here. These are things that are happening within the community that you might not know if you're, just bumbling around on the externals, on the perimeters, and you're not diving deep, and you're not, you got to get in the water. So hopefully the Woku Weekly will help you do that and give you the FOMO to do so anyway. But big shout out to BioArtem on the art. Of course, Runiverse game featured, the Machines Arena, Cyberkong's Ragmon. Shout out to Delirium Artists as well for doing a lot of the artwork. Bruce, of course, some mentions. And Ayo Sean is in there too. But the Woku Weekly team is right here. As you can see, it's Kami, Honeydew, Nishi-san, Sir Irino? I'm going to say it. Sir Irino. McDonald Duck, and Abon Dinosaur. Russ. I'm going to say, why is it Abon Dinosaurus? Anyway, Kezia.
I have no idea, dude.
That's that 2008 Twitter name that you haven't been able to change. Anyway, that is the Woku Weekly for this week. Make sure you go onto the socials and support. I think it's going to be part of your quests as well anyway. But, get in there, read it, give it a read through. And hopefully you found the secret code, because I'm not going to give it to you guys. You guys should have found it. And if you haven't, you've got to go back and read it. Okay. But, yeah, Cami, appreciate you guys every single time. A lot of work comes from a very concentrated group of people within the community right now, and of course the door is always open. Just a reminder that the submissions for community recounts is still open, and there is a Spirit Guardian up for grabs for those there. If you read through the Woku Weekly article, you'll know exactly how to get involved with that, and hopefully we'll see some more over the course of this week. But we'll be back next week with another Woku Weekly, as we keep you up to date on everything going on in the community. Cami, let's jump into the next combo, which of course is none other than the wizarding cult themselves, Forgotten Runiverse. I'm more than excited. Today's the day where I really sweat, where I'm going to be non-stop from the moment the show finishes, actually from now, because we're going to jump into the game, until I take my little ass to sleep later today. So more than excited we're back. Bear Snake's in the building though. If you don't know who Bear Snake is, you're fucking stupid.
Oh, no.
Sorry, no. No, hello, Bear Snake. How are you, brother?
Good to be here. Thank you guys so much as always. Finn coming in hard with the
Yeah,
wizard.
Finn is trumping me. Fuck.
I really need to get my costume game on point. It's not up to par, so I'm not going to show my face. But guys, it's so good to be here. I brought with me my trusty kobold friend. I take
Yes.
him everywhere with me. He's my keeper of everything. What's up, Jitsi?
Jitsy's in the building. I actually DM'd Jitsy. I was like, oh, please tell me you're coming through to today.
Hey, sorry, I was like trying to find the Discord because I'm in a bajillion. How's everyone doing?
we good.
Thank you for the nice words, Bear. Bear's one of my true loves.
Oh God, we love each other, but we love the game more? Question mark? I don't know. We're gonna find out. Hi guys, what's up? Oh my God, it's been quite a day. Just fair warning, have I may not have slept and worked all night, so I'm a little bit loopy. But I'm stoked.
He's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I think it was the same scenario. Yeah, same scenario last time. CBT dropped. And there was no sleep involved. It literally
On
was.
this show too. He just can't stop.
It's kind of embarrassing, but I just get very excited when we launch things, and it's hard for me to turn my brain off. I'll be honest. So, it's at least I'm consistent.
I was gonna say it's arguably necessary, to be in charge and leading the charge on such an incredible experience. It's been spoken about since the CBT. I think that's what it takes. The lack of sleep, but not for the want of giving all of your energy towards the process. So exciting times, man. It's back. We played the CBT. We were blown away by it as a community. The fact that people wanted to play the game, and it was almost like a total disregard of what traditionally is like the Web3 incentive being a monetary gain. That was not present for me personally, and then a lot of people in the community too. So OBT being back here, everyone was asking for it. I've been scratching and itching like a fiend, and it's here now. So it's a good fucking day. There's a few things that we want to jump into and ask some questions around, but I mean, I want to give you guys the floor at the moment to just kind of, I guess, summarize what it's been like, what happened since CBT, and how you guys feeling now that we are in OBT officially.
Been wild. It's been a crazy 24 hours, but enjoyable. I think there's just so much love coming from a lot of players in crypto and Ronin and everywhere else that are just enjoying it, even though there's some hiccups here and there, as we all know with bits. Like right now, it looks like you're trying to connect. We're actually having an issue with people loading at 75%. Yeah, there it is. Which they're working on right now to push something to be able to let people connect in this morning. This was a problem yesterday too, but just small things here and there and solving as we go forward. But it's been enjoyable. It's no one does these type of things without being a little bit crazy, building in public like this. But it's been great. I don't know how Barry feels though.
No, I think, gosh, to see the timeline just stacked with people playing the game is everything that we wanted, right? I think we're sort of cracking crypto Twitter. We're getting the attention. This is our big. I did an interview with Decrypt, and in a lot of ways, we've done a ton of stuff over the past 3+ years, but in a lot of ways, this game coming out, this public is kind of our coming out party. And it's proof of work. We're really proud of the game. Obviously, it's still beta, like Jitsi was saying. There's definitely some bugs. I always want things to be perfect, but the reality is making an MMO is tough. But I'll be honest, the reaction, at least from where I sit, has been insanely positive. So, I'm just so grateful to Moku. Like, I got to actually meet Hantao last week. He was in Los Angeles. We actually got to meet. I've gotten closer with Finn and a lot of the people just on in the community, on the teams, and honestly, I couldn't ask for a better community to be plugging into. It's such a match made in heaven with the cold and you guys.
Yeah, I feel like we're all ready to join the cult. I've got a knife on my desk right now, and my wrists are pretty willing and able. So that makes sense. It's when I first, when we first got the introduction to the actual universe, and I'm talking like CBT eras. Obviously, we met at GDC, which we spoke about the last time, and I just kind of knew it. Sometimes you just know with a game, and a lot of it is to do with the people that are behind it. But there's a culture within the Forgotten Runiverse and obviously the Wizarding Cult that it makes sense. It feels like it's filled with a lot of people who have been here, so you're very hip to, you know, the industry of as it is, but also there is such this strong focus on gamers and gaming. And personally, as an MMO experience, it's been for me like the most refreshing one in this industry, hands down, and what I've been looking forward to play the most. So, you know, it's always a congratulation.
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, what this game represents is, it's obviously a lot of hard work, all the things that go into making it, but it also sort of represents this nostalgia aspect that brings us back to having fun when we were kids.
Hmm.
And I think it's okay to have fun when you're a little, whether you're a young adult or an old guy like me. I think this space so desperately needs just great experiences that are entertaining and sort of take you out and transport you into just having fun. Obviously, there's a lot of like tokenomics and mechanics and details that like we can go through. We can go through the points system and how it's connected to the game, all
Yeah.
that stuff. But overall, I think really what we want to do is bring back some fun. I think everybody, people maybe burned out on meme coins, maybe not, but I'm seeing a lot of bull posting about NFTs and how the NFT bull run was maybe more fun or enjoyable than the meme coin rally. I don't know. I'm not gonna like sort of pick a side, but I know personally I'm more interested in playing games than sort of trading and the more financialization of things. So we're stoked and down to talk about whatever you want. If you want us to walk through the donuts
Yeah.
system or the game, like you let us know. We can talk about what's new in this build versus the CBT. Whatever, we're here for you. We serve you. Ela.
Yeah, this is you know, some of the important questions. You know, I'll summarize them quite lightly, and then we'll just ask them straight up. But most of the questions are like the CBT to the OBT, like what was implemented there. How did you guys look at it? We want to talk about like land as well, and like what is the importance of it ultimately. And the biggest point, and this one I think we'll tackle first. The biggest point for me is all I have fucking seen on my timeline for the last week is bloody donuts. All right, what, Bear Snake? What the fuck are donuts? Why donuts? And why does one need donuts?
Okay, so why donuts? Because just a regular old plain point system is just it's overrun. It's old. We needed to spice it up, put some sugar on it. Donuts, I think are our take on points.
Mm-hmm.
If you're getting to know us just now, but we always create a narrative and a sort of lore around anything that we do, and it pushes the whole entire sort of project through. And for us, a little bit of backstory. Donuts actually came from Inside Joke before we minted Wizards in 2021.
Mm.
The Discord was asking to get allow list, and oh sorry, I just got a DM. And so Elf, one of my partners, responded, sacrifice your soul to a jelly donut. And so that's how that's how it started.
Like, I think the medial and the almost bizarre nature of it is like, if you tell someone that's completely out of the loop and has no understanding, you're just saying like, oh, I'm collecting donuts. It's like it's that insane that it might actually make them inquisitive. Like, it might spark curiosity because people want to know, like, why are we fucking talking about donuts? Why is people suddenly posting selfies with donuts every other day type of thing? So I think you guys did, to tie that in with like historic as well is fucking cool. Yeah.
Again, it brings a little bit of entertainment and fun to the space.
Yeah.
So that's how it started, and so really the way I think about the donuts point system is it's almost like an experiential, farming maybe is a dirty word, but I don't think so. It's like an experiential farming experience, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It's multifaceted. There's mini games. There's like daily clickers. There's in-game quests now that the open beta you can go and you can go jump from the donut site, earn cards after you complete quests, and then jump back to the donut site and sort of redeem them. So to me, it's about you have to
to break out in the space at this point, you have to deliver something that feels a little bit different. It feels intentional and genuine, and put together, quite well. And so that's what we're doing. Is I think if you think about donuts, what are they at a high level? Beyond all the fun and excitement, it's more about like donuts represent a very, very important reward system that will flow through the entire Forgotten Runes ecosystem.
Yeah.
And of course, the game is this first big kickoff, the big swing, and so it's tied very heavily to the game, and it will be for some time. But think about donuts as a reward system, and we can't really talk about what comes after, but I think all I can really say is stack donuts.
Let's go.
100% stack donuts. And one of the things to add to that too is like we're scholars of the game when it comes to this space too. So like we use a lot of like, we look to other projects when pulling really fun things, and there's been other ones that have done really great work within other chains or even within ETH, but we've been able to pull a lot of things that are true to like what we're doing, but also what's felt good in the space from before as well, right? Like there are so many point systems out there, and I think a lot of them really just fall flat because they're not trying to push the envelope. Where I believe we are, right? And that maybe for better for worse, we're always trying to make things true to what we're doing and more fun and unique in a very like, I wouldn't say complex way, but sometimes it feels complex, right?
Mhm.
So it's just, it's something that gets you involved, right? Like MMOs aren't supposed to be simplistic by nature. So when you associate that with a point system, it has to be a little more complex. But through the combination of like a jackpot and the quest that's like almost like roguelike and daily donuts, like it just feels a little more special, right? There's some strong references I could point to that when we're talking to the team, but I think it's a little bit of love from a lot of projects, right? So, and we're just happy that people are enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of inspiration, honestly. And if you want to go back to the site, I know they're doing maintenance, but if you reload, sometimes it should go through. So if you want to do that, that's fine. But if we can stay on the donuts as well.
Nah, the donuts are just important.
Reloaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reloaded. I'm in. I'm doing my loops, and I think I figured out, what the main goal is, especially now that the Temple of Mana is properly working, and we're out here trying to farm mana, making sure we get that, and I'm gonna try to get the land. And speaking of land, I kind of wanted to know like how important will land be? I kind of wanna guess an estimate, like is it needed for someone to completely min-max their gameplay experience? And I know that that's one of the biggest thing, that's kind of a feature to get from the Temple of Mana. And I think it was Entropy yesterday when we were chilling there in the Discord. He answered Ryan AF's question about it, and he was talking about the pity system of like 250 rolls gets you a guaranteed land. I kind of want to know more
Yeah.
about land.
Yeah, land is special because one, it sits in the front of mind for a lot of players when it comes to MMOs or things that within gaming, right? Which is like own your own assets. And yeah, for someone who min maxes or wants to earn like full potential, like you more than likely will need land, right? Like, for example, there are certain resources on certain plots within certain biomes that will produce those resources and only produce them there, right? So, which is fun, right? Because you can own an asset, and then if you have enough of it, you can go sell it on the market for a particular thing. Or if you're trying to min max in different ways, like you probably need the land, right? Or if you want to take the more like cozy route to show off an environment that you've crafted really high end decorative pieces, which you can go in there and you can decorate out your house. So there's just like a lot of ability and flexibility with it. And I think anybody who's playing the game consistently or plans to play, like you will eventually will get one based off of your roles if you're playing enough, right? So even if you don't want to fully commit right away, you can get one for free essentially. So it's just like a nice ad that's probably going to help a min max in certain ways through earning in-game coziness or resources. But you don't have to do it, right? Like it shouldn't be it shouldn't like break the game. But if you're like me who spends hundreds of hours in any game, you probably want more than one land even, right? So it just comes down to the player. And I think one of the great things about this game that we're trying to aim for is there's something for everybody, right? Like you want something for the casual player, you want something for the hardcore player, right? And that is different for every single individual. So hopefully land can help with that process, but we think it does.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think just to add on to that, I think with land, for me, one of the most exciting game mechanic loops is like decorating, building a house, decorating the interior, going and grinding on quests, and then, crafting items and then putting them in your home. I think that is a really, really crucial aspect to the game. And you can't do that unless you own land. So I think I think, if you want to have the full experience and sort of dive into every aspect of every game loop, it's something that you might want to look out for. And the other thing is the way we're looking at land, and we're rolling the land out very slowly over time to match the demand. So we know it's very important to make sure that we're not going to go out and do like some massive like landman and try to sell like 20,000 plots. It's really sort of tied to the health of the economy as we grow the game. So it's going to like sort of be tailored to that, which I think is quite important. We're not trying to like come in and just sort of extract up front and then try to deliver on a lot of expectations. I think we want to earn the right to sort of have people have land and see the value. The other piece of it is like there's going to be a lot of advantages to having a plot of land. If you can build a house, there's 5 different sizes all the way up to a city. And you can host events on larger plots than just sort of the home settlements. And so,
Someone just
this
pulled the city, by the way. Sorry to cut you off. This is
no,
actually
someone pulled it.
crazy.
No, it wasn't a city. They pulled it. I think it was like a village. It wasn't a city.
Village, sorry.
Wow.
Yeah,
Or a
that's
town, which is like
That
right
was a town.
below
By
a
the way,
city.
that's insane. And so you can imagine having a town. You can build forges on your land. You can be, you can have the forge in your area that people come to and forge armor. There's so many things coming, but you can own a piece of the economy and be a service provider for the whole entire economy, and you get to earn on that service. So when someone comes to, let's say you have the armory in your, in your region, and people come to you, they craft armor there. Well, guess what? You get a piece of that. So I think that's a really important part of land is, this is a player-driven economy. And so a crucial part of that to work is making sure that people who own land are actually using it and delivering and sort of adding to, the player experience and also gaining benefits from that, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, that makes a lot of sense because like say Gil and I purchase a land and we have our Ronin radio land, we definitely want to make sure that we're active in it, we're building in it. I really like the fact that you said, if you get activity in it, right, you kind of get a percentage of that resource that players are getting from your land. So it incentivizes builders. It incentivizes people to come in, hang out, utilize what you've built, check out what you have, and in return too for you building on it and being a builder, you kind of get rewarded for it as well.
Yeah, it's if you take the concept of land and if you were to give the community the perspective to say, oh, what would you think it needs to do? I think you guys hit a lot of those components, already out the gate. So, and the fact that it's been released out slowly and there's a focus around community driven economies is massively valuable. You've been able to kind of learn from what may have been mistakes in the past as well, where it's like this huge mint to raise a bunch of capital and then you have to kind of deliver through on the product side of it. And yeah, I'm a big fan of how it's being released out. The 250 roll is forgive me if I'm mistaken here, is it you every 250th personal roll, or is it every 250 roll in the macro? So every time someone is actually rolling something, it counts towards that 250 counter.
It's unique. It's for every person, right? So
okay, yeah. So yeah, if you're playing the game well enough, I'm sure somebody in the Ronin ecosystem will come up with the method, the min-max method towards 250 rolls, and then you essentially can put a price on land based upon time and effort, as well as.
And I love that. Like, I'm a big believer in the activation of time and effort being the currency for in-game assets within games.
Yeah.
Like, I can appreciate and understand that people want to buy and speed run that process. But to me, gaming is time, gaming is energy, gaming is skill. So when you have, 2 or 3 out of those within the system and you can reward people for their time and effort, now you're on the cusp of like what this space is supposed to be for gaming, in my opinion. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like those who want a shortcut, sure, by all means. You want to pay up, love it. Like that, do you. But for the grinders out there too, you want to have that option.
Facts, yeah.
Put in your time, and you can imagine building sort of the gravity well, the centerpiece to an area in the game. You can build that up, create value, and then sell it. That's like, it's play for free, own your progress. That's the beauty of Web3, and we're trying to. I think this is our attempt at delivering on it. And we're a day and a half in, but I think it's looking really good so far.
Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna be grinding.
That, like, I just want to say, like, I literally was having this conversation with Logic yesterday. Was like, I was very interested to see how the Runiverse team goes about bridging the gap between the people who own assets and are paying for things and maybe are able to afford like the wizards and stuff like that, and the people who are playing it almost like a Web 2 game, but like they want the Web 3 assets. And it sounds like you've just answered the question I was wondering, was like, is there going to be a way for us to maybe grind our way to something like that? I don't care how long a grind takes, as long as there is a goal at the end and I can actually, I can earn land doing this. So hearing you say that is like so awesome. And I'm sure a lot of like quotation marks free to play players are going to be really grateful to hear that if you put time in, it's going to be rewarded. So that's really great. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a constant conversation. I think, like, for me personally and the team, is that you want to reward those people that are putting in the time, right? And like, I think for a long time prior to crypto, even gamers that were putting in thousands of hours into games weren't appreciated for what they were doing, right? Respectively, from like AAA projects, right? Like, they simply weren't giving them anything. They're giving them an experience, which is fine, sure, whatever. But here we have the opportunity to like really reward people in monetary ways, right? Like, that's why I'm here. Like, if I had one thing to distill down to this space, it's gamers should be rewarded for their time, energy, and skill. Full stop.
Bro,
so
that is music to my ears, man. That is music to my ears. I'm so happy to hear that. That's
sweet.
awesome.
Yeah, hell
because,
yeah.
Like when I saw Runiverse was coming out and stuff like that, I was like, please don't have an energy system. Please do not have an energy system. Because I want to regen. Like, I want to spend 12 hours playing this game. Like, I want to do that. And the fact that I can also now grind for 12 hours and have this big goalpost at the end saying, if I do enough, if I get enough resources, I'll be able to roll for the land. Yes. Please never implement an energy system. Please. I love degenning your game.
I don't die on very many hills, but energy systems are one, right? Like, there is a very big conversation about how I never want. I mean, like, this is my personal opinion, which is a constant conversation with everybody, right? Which is, when we start feeling more like a mobile churn that requires energy systems and microtransactions, you've lost the fucking narrative, right? So it's just like staying away from that and being conscious of like how you balance markets and ecosystems is also very important. There's so many elements, right? But there are some very big pitfalls that I think are very important to talk about, and that's one of them. I think energy systems are whack. I just think they are. So
I'm so happy.
Probably
right
won't
now.
have one, hopefully.
Like,
so.
I'm so happy because like I love being able to just degen Runiverse. Like, I'm pretty sure you guys put out the stats of the last CBT saying somebody played for 30 something hours or something. Like, yes, that, like, I'm so happy someone can do that. It's probably not the healthiest thing in the world, but the fact that someone can do that, shout out to that person.
That was me, bro. That was me, bro.
I'm
not lying.
Bro,
I'm not
screw
lying.
energy systems for real. Like, I'm so happy to hear that that's not going to be implemented. Thank you.
Yes. Hey, yeah, you're singing from the hymn sheet we want. Well, I'm telling you that there's obviously pain points. Sometimes, an approach to a game can be completely different, and the intentions are they differ. And something that you get from Forgotten Runiverse is that it's much deeper than it being some form of like protocol and eventually being, this just machine that has to be maintained, and the economics come into it and different things like that. This is, like I said, we opened this up by saying by far the most enthusiasm to play a game with zero monetary incentive. And although that those things can exist within this ecosystem, I think it's actually a huge positive that they don't need to lead the charge for it. So it's yeah, Cammy, what you're saying as well. Is
additive,
that, yeah.
right? Like monetary value when done correctly. I think there's a real case to be said that eventually you'll have this bigger gap between like, those who come into the game right away and are playing versus those who've been here for a very long time through end game will obviously earn more. But like, how does that look? What does the ramp look like? How does it eventually get to where you're making more money? Like, there's a big conversation there. But the fact is that you want people in the game enjoying it first and foremost, right? Like,
Mhm.
and that's a very important step. Like, you can't forget that if you strictly only have monetary value, those who only want monetary value will play, and that doesn't last forever, right? Like, especially when there's not like mechanics that are especially driven by skill at the current moment. Which as you build on out and you have those type of players that will be obsessed and play and get really good at it, then you can start putting more monetary value on that, right? Like, there's a reason why esports succeeded for so long and continues to do so now is because like there's a big skill gap between individual players. So it's
Mhm.
like looking towards ways to activate the beginning, but also have stuff for people later on through endgame, right? So I could rant about this all day. I just enjoy the conversation because I think MMOs are such a big pool for all these ideas, and we have one of the first ones, so it's like really fun.
Yeah.
I'd love to jump in here since we've already mentioned esports and competitive natures. And I apologize if this question's already been asked before, but is there a potential future where we could see PvP in Forgotten Runiverse?
Ooh, that's
For
a good
sure.
question.
Yeah, 100%. Like PvP
fuck yeah.
is going to be planned. So like
Yep.
the conversation around PvP is this. You want to have it feel skillful enough to where team efforts are being rewarded in
Mhm.
ways that you can showcase you better than others, right? And in a game where it's quote unquote turn based, the action bar allows that to happen through communication and timing. So it's
Yeah.
like establishing it, creating it, and making it plausible within the first, like, even year or so of the game might be difficult. But PvP, it has to be PvP. Like if you
Mhm.
look at any game beyond like Wukong, Elden Ring, and like these huge ones that aren't PvP, the world's run by PvP esports games at this point, right? Like so,
Let's
like,
go.
figuring it out and how you can challenge people and also have ways to learn, practice, and get better is like, in my mind, so very important, and it only shines through PvP.
Yeah. There needs
Crazy.
yeah, I was saying like everybody would fucking enjoy the shit out of PvP. The the battle mechanics and the style is really unique with the action bar. Jesus, I don't know, I'm choking up here, but like with the action bar being implemented, there's a lot of things that can be done with it. I don't know if there was like an open feedback medium for that. I know PvP doesn't yet exist, so in terms of like giving feedback, there isn't a product to give feedback on just as yet. But my thoughts on it in this instance is like if we were to be able to go into PvP battles today, like how does what I've done in the game so far translate to that, and like what's capable. Of course, there's different spells which you earn throughout playing the game. You learn different spells, and you have to craft them. Essentially, in my mind, it's like okay, PvP would be a medium, almost like the Pokemon, where you get set at level 50, so that the stats and the possible outcomes are variable through the different hit percentages, and then there's things like even would we implement things like same type of tap, and would you be able to put a roll on your wizard so that magical damage does more than physical damage because that's the type of wizard you are, but then also with the action bar, because I think that's such a key, crucial, unique point, would be we looking at more utility around the action bar itself, because at the moment there's a ton of spells, and playing against mobs and playing against the bosses is a real challenge, and it's really fun to work with. But I think when you're versing a player where it could become quite linear because there's a set amount of skills, it's quite standard. But if there's more influence that we can have on the action bar, and how pivotal would that play a role in the versus criteria, is something that I'll be looking at. And the only reason I'll bring it to this depth of conversation in terms of the game mechanics itself and style is because we've spoken before, Jitsi, and I know how hot on this stuff you are and how important this stuff is to you as well. Just to kind of give my surface level thoughts on how PvP might look in Forgotten Runiverse. I think if there was added elements of complexity, but also strategy focused around the action bar, but then also like a standard platform of power capability, so that PvP doesn't become this either pay to win because people pay to get a land, to farm a certain resource, to have a certain spell at a certain level or whatever. It actually becomes more so about the decision making element in the moment of battle.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Barry, you gonna go?
Oh, no. I was just gonna say, well, before you answer, because I think, think you can play on a different field than I can, and Gila, and you guys just go so deep on these games. I think I would say that there's so many things planned for the game, but as you guys know, MMOs just are a very difficult category, and so what we want to do is, you can only go as fast as the quality that you want to hit, and so as I would say, just like be patient with us. I think people are really enjoying the game. I think it's great. Um, and know that is so much planned as the game progresses and evolves. PvP, a ton of other things that I feel like honestly even go back to land that you'll be able to do on land. But point is like it will roll out over time. And I think the way that we've operated our project for 3.5 years is we want to earn our right to make a move. We don't ever want to like jump the shark or get ahead of ourselves, because I think that sort of sets expectations in a weird way, and it also is a recipe for it can be a recipe for disaster, right? And so we
Mhm.
want to be patient. We're building for long term, and so I think a lot of the things that I want you guys to even touch on right now is just going to be quite important. And also, just I'll end with, absolutely. We will have a huge feedback sort of loop for people to give, their thoughts on this open beta. We did it for the closed beta. I forget what the numbers, but we got a ton of people filling out forms. And if we're not listening to the community, we're doing something wrong. So you better believe that we're going to be, clocking that and giving an opportunity to everybody to say something and put their 2 cents in.
Yeah.
It's important, right? Like, I agree with you. I think games in general around PvP, there's usually two solves. One is you have an elo system. One is you max level them, and then you make a build, and then you can play against each other within a team format. So it's like, even just hearing that, right? That's what you just said, essentially. Like
Yeah.
hearing that and be able to apply it, right? I think one of the strongest components that we have is that, and this is to Bear's point, which is fundamentally when we're thinking about whatever we're going to do, there's like two buckets. One is talking about these high level ideas, and one is having the fundamentals, knowing what works and what doesn't work, right? Like, and the fundamentals is much more important, because you can have 1,000 ideas that are really great, but if they're not baked in fundamentals and not knowing pitfalls, then it's problematic.
Yeah.
So like our team in Bisonic, like, know these pitfalls and know that what we can aim for, and that really helps establish like listening from the community, taking it, making sure that it works, then putting it into game, and then hopefully that flywheel creates like the great crazy ideas we're talking about right now, which is a 4v4 PV based competition that feels skillful in nature through like spectating sport. Like that is, I mean, in my mind, that's my mind of like, I would love to have that. But that's like a very, Bear's right, it's like very far away. And there's a lot of other things we need to consider too, which is like, you start talking about that, then we take away from like the cozy comfy of land, right? Like, so there's like so many elements, I guess. And like knowing where to put the fundamentals is just as important, right? So, but I think we should have a form up. I think there should be a constant conversation. If we don't have that, we don't have anything.
Mhm.
Well, I think when it comes, oh, sorry, continue.
Oh, no. I just wanted to leave it with, to me, the most exciting thing is when you build something for years and you finally release it. I felt like we were holding our breath or, constipated, right? And now we finally get to release it, because there's only so much that you can sort of like question and go in circles. We have to release products so that people can start playing with it and get their hands on it and give feedback. To me, that's the most exciting thing. It's like finally we get to put it in people's hands. Anyone that wants to play, you don't have to own an NFT. It's free. Go grind it and tell us what you like. Tell us, more importantly, what you don't like, so that we can actually get back to the drawing board and sort of craft this thing.
Yeah. Cami, take it away, bro. I know you had
Yeah.
something.
No, well, to that point, I'm actually, after this call and after cooling off, I'm actually going to meet up with my Web 2 friends who I have not played a game with in many months, and I'm actually taking them to play Runiverse, because it's obviously open now, and I thought it was like the best possible introduction to a Web 3 experience, because I've been with the whole Ronin thing for, 4 or 5 months now, and I was like kept wanting to bring my friends in, but like there wasn't just a game that I was like, hey, you can play this as a Web 2 thing, and there's still this whole aspect of you can like slowly introduce yourself to the Web 3 element. So one, I'm doing that after this thing, but also what I was saying about the combat thing is like I think some people were saying that the combat is a bit spammy, but they haven't got to the end game yet of like, well, obviously the end game, but the end game for kind of the beta and stuff like that. Like, you know, killing the bird, the Stormcrow last time, it introduced the element of like, I think, wasn't it magic didn't work on it? You have to use the physical magic.
Yeah, different types of damage. Yeah.
Exactly. And I can only imagine as we get deeper into the game and deeper into, like, as you said, the PvP elements and stuff like that, you are going to have those normal things of other MMOs where, like, I'm just going to use Lost Ark as an example. Like, bro, there was always that person that was just focused as a healer or focused as a tank, or like, you know, you might have had a paladin build or the DPS person. And if you're doing the end game dungeons and end game runs and games like that, if you're not hitting a certain criteria as the healer or whatever, people aren't going to want you on. And I love that. Like, there's going to be probably so much strategy involved at some point where you will need someone debuffing the boss. You will need someone focusing on heals. Like, you will need the DPS person. And like, I think Runiverse has this whole blueprint now, and all of these debuffs are already in the game. Like, there's tons of debuffs and stuff like that they can probably make it as hard as they want. Like, it's going to get really intense probably at some point once we get to end game dungeons, and you're going to have to wipe like for hours until you get the system in place where you are able to kill the boss. And I love that. Like, that's so cool. So I think some people might have been disregarding the combat system because they think it's really easy right now, but like, once you get to the end game things, I'm sure it will scale, and hopefully it does scale. I want it to be challenging.
It has to scale.
Those are the people that don't read, though. By the way, the people saying spammy, they probably haven't read a fucking sentence since they opened the game.
I don't think they understand. Like, it is. There's so much coordination needed in some of the later bosses like that. Like,
Yes,
and I love it, dude. I love it.
Just show me any MMO or any game where I could just go into any MMO right now and all the way up to like half max level. I could literally just use my sword or
exactly, bro.
Like
you can just slash everything.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Go play Guild Wars, right, and go all the way to max level. You can use like 2 abilities the entire time, right? Like, that's just the nature of MMOs. Because if you don't have an easy early game, you don't have a hard end game, right? Like, that's just how it works.
Yeah.
So it's right. Like, people, I mean, based off what I'm hearing too, people probably know about the idea of like boss fights within. Let's take Path of Exile for example, which I think is a great game. Like, those fights in themselves through the combat, it's just like one individual boss can feel so complex based off of like, the ability not to do something to it, right? Like, so you can add those elements to each boss or each character later on and through endgame. Endgame's where MMOs really start. We've only shown you the first 20 levels, right?
For sure.
I know people want the complexity, myself included, right? Like, Bear can contest to this, and like everybody from my team. Like, I desire the complexity of the skill-based combat we're talking about, but the reality situation is you're still fighting crabs, right? Like, you're still the first 20 levels. So like, yeah, give it time. Like, we have a max level that's much higher than this, and the complexity will be there. It'll get there for sure.
Awesome. I'm so excited. Like, I'm so excited to be in a situation where I'm fighting a boss with 3 other people for 4 hours, and we're like, damn, we almost got him on 100 HP that time, and then we have to wipe for another 3 more times. Like, I'm excited for that, because then things like that are always so rewarding when you do get it. You find out like, oh, we have to do this, and then we crush it, and then like we'll get to wear the armor of the boss or something. Like, I love that from even back to games like RuneScape. You know, when people got the flame cape and they're able to walk around like the area, and everyone's like, damn, that person did that. Like, it's kind of the same effect right now with the Stormcrow armor set. Like, people know, like, damn, they beat the Stormcrow. Like, I love shit like that, so I don't mind it being challenging, and I hope it does get more challenging as time goes on for sure.
Yo, I have a question. Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
This might not have an answer yet, and I'm just gonna try to milk as much as I can from the guys. But so like most MMORPGs, right? I think not all, but like I'd say 90 to 95% have some sort of class based or job based mechanism where, oh, I'm gonna be a sorcerer, or I'm gonna be a knight, I'm gonna be like some hunter or whatever, right? And obviously, since this is a wizard kind of driven world, but then I look at, oh, there's warriors, there's souls. Like, is there a possibility that maybe in like eventually people could select a class or like an elective like that they want to specialize in, and maybe that adds complexity? Because right now what's interesting is that I can be a pure int damage dealer right now, but then I can adjust in a few minutes and become a healer to support my party. That's cool. But like eventually, if there was a class-based system, like we might like have to rely more on like party, and that might, rejuvenate or make it more intense for everyone else. But curious what you guys think about that, or if that's in the cards.
For sure. Yes, like specialization to feel unique enough for character class is really important in any game, even outside of MMOs right now, right? Like it lives in so many games. League of Legends, Deadlock recently, like specialization is more fun. And so in a world where we have this huge ecosystem where you could see, I mean, like there's no promises here, this is just me talking about like where we want to go with it, right? Is like there are warriors in our ecosystem, right? And like warriors having abilities that are more centric to just like physical damage alone is something that's way more fun for a wide variety of people who don't want to do wizards, right? Like, and that's the idea, in my opinion, which is add enough specialization through character class and abilities and combat to make it feel very unique to the player when they're playing their individual character, right? Like, in a perfect world, which we all aspire to be because we're all in crypto, because we're all crazy people, it's like you have 10,000 wizards who each one of them feels super unique and super special to play through every single moment. That's really hard to create, but we can try to get something close to it when we introduce the classes, the specializations, the abilities. Like we can get close, right? But like that's the perfect world, right? It's like
Yeah.
I am my wizard and I only play like this person because it's the only person who can do it, right? So like
Yeah.
that's the dream, but we can make steps towards that in like lesser ways.
Yeah, it's why we're
True.
gonna be patient bringing other collections into the game. I think if we're going to bring a collection into the game, the lazy way to do it is, yeah, there's no classes and okay, we bring in all the souls and all the warriors and all these other, all these other collections that we have, and they do the same thing as the wizards. No, it doesn't work. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's not right. You don't do that. And so we have to sort of honor the category of the game and sort of the mechanics that make the successful type of
Right.
MMO work, and you got to do that.
What would be wild for me, like, and I appreciate the answers, and I have full faith in you guys. So like, and I like what would be insane for me is because of what you said, right? Every wizard is unique. Like if you have an NFU wizard, you have like an enchanter, enchanter guy or whatever. Like, it would be really cool if there was a way somehow, right? Like I'm just thinking off the top of my head. My new wizard, right? He's an illusionist, right? If there was a way that because you're an illusionist, you have certain spells that you only you have access to, and that you can do. Like, I think that would really be like, it's pretty ambitious, but yeah, I like that would be like pure insanity, and will make this maybe the most complex MMORPG in maybe ever.
Yeah, I think, from a product development standpoint, you have to start at top of funnel, right? I think you have to start with bigger sort of verticals like these character classes. And, as the game goes on, then you can go deeper and be more specific about these individual characters. Maybe you start with, this like all you divide by the heads. Again, I'm sort of these are all things we've discussed that we're not implementing yet, but like there's a lot of ways to categorize just even the wizards, right? And so I think to say we're gonna like drop unique spells for every single 10,000 wizard, that seems a little bit silly at this point. But what we can do is we can organize these different collections that have they have traits that are shared among others in that same collection. You can boil it down, so you go top of funnel and then you get more and more and more specific as time goes on and the game's successful.
And we have it baked into the collection too in certain ways. Like, I mean, most people here might know about the idea of affinity in our collection, right? Which is like a
Yeah.
really fun trait that like sits behind the collection, but also makes sense in a lot of gamified ways, right? When we talk about like the pyromancers or like whatever you want to do when it comes to a special type of like spells or whatever you want to call it, like it sits within the collection already. Like, so we have the option to move into those within buckets that like Bear talking about.
Yes, I'm telling you. If you know about Affinity as well, then you've been diving deep in there. I know Logic knows a thing or two over there about Affinity.
Yeah, just to shout out the Wizards for a second. Sorry, Gila.
No, you good?
A lot of people ask, the project is so great. You guys are doing so much stuff, but it's a bit complex. Where do I start? What's the first thing I should dive into? What I would say is Wizards. They're the Genesis collection. And they are prioritized in terms of benefits. We put out a really great post about all the benefits that Wizards get in game, and even for donuts, right? And so I think not everybody can afford that price point, so it was also important for us to sort of have lower price point entries. But I would say very simply, if you wanted to look at like the top of the pyramid for our collections and characters, it would be Wizards. And I think, we take that very seriously in terms of delivering on the utility value, whatever word you want to say. It's important for us to bake in uh rewards and advantages for those holders. At the same time, like we were talking about earlier, you don't want to have a game that's so unbalanced that someone walks in and they own a wizard and they just win and they slay everybody. Not going to happen. But like, again, you can approach these issues with a strategy that you can navigate a path and sort of balance it properly.
Yeah. Nah, for sure. Wizard is top of the one asset in this entire Ronin ecosystem right now that I want more than anything is a wizard. So
For real.
yeah.
For real.
Looking for wizard. Someone
Yeah.
sell me one. 5 out of 5 affinity. I'm actually looking at one, but it's too expensive, and I'm broke.
Those are top end. Like there's only 301 5 of 5 100% affinity wizards in the entire collection.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at Milton of El Dorado. I think he's like 1.2 ETH on the market. And yeah, he just looks so swagged out. And I just want to make like a swag lore, like as swaggy
Yeah.
as possible.
The lore is actually so important to me. I know there's the affinities, there's different the different mechanics that are there and exist with the wizard collection, but for me, as soon as I know, like if I see a wizard, I'm like, you know what, this is it. Like there is no limits to the extent of how deep and far I will go with lore. And I mean, you guys have probably seen it with Axie in the first instance. Like the whole Gila existence is based around a reptile Axie that is actually me, and he shapeshifts, and that's just, I'm not actually a fucking human, but I am that Axie. But so like lore has always been like an underlying, even without the incentive of, oh, this lore goes on chain. So knowing that lore will be inscribed on chain, will actually have like a place within the ecosystem, and then to the extent of it even being featured in the projects like IP and the media expansion that you guys will undergo, is like, it's the pinnacle really. And I think every other project is arguably playing catch up to where you guys are with that aspect itself. So yeah, if I get my hands on a wizard, I say when I get my hands on a wizard because it's going to happen, but when I get my hands on a wizard, there's going to be a lot of story to dive into.
Let's do it. I mean, I'm down to just touch on a couple of points with lore if you guys want. We can also,
Yeah.
I don't know how long the show goes, whatever you'd like.
Now let's keep this. I was going to ask a question about what changed from CBT to OBT, and is there any like specific changes in there? But in all honesty,
Let's focus on the game. That's good.
but no, Bear Snake, I'm gonna just overrule all of this and say, listen, what changed from CBT to OBT? Go fucking play the OBT and find out. Let's talk about lore. Bear Snake, let's get into it, bro, because I do want to we'll summarize the show here. So because for me, a lot of the lore actually brings the passion attachment to the game experience, and obviously the game right now is a medium where you just have to go and try it, right? So if you want to know about the game, go and try it, and then come in Moki's corner and have some degenerate conversation with us lot that are playing it 24/7. So but the lore itself, right, you guys at the moment, there's a comic series that has been released that's available to the public as well now. There's been a royalty kickback process with holders of wizards who are featured in those things. The lore itself, like, I guess where are we at with lore, and what's the roadmap or the pathway to the continuation of Forgotten Runiverse lore expanding?
Yeah, so I think, it all starts with the Book of Lore, which was the first thing that we built when, after we launched and minted the Wizards. And so if you think about the Book of Lore, obviously at its very simplest form, it's holders can create the backstory for the characters that they own. And we call our project sometimes a collaborative legendarium. And this is the idea that we are actually building a decentralized fantasy world and IP. And the way we can do that is by building next to the holders by building tools that allow people to be creative, build this emotional connection. It's not, some people will just trade it and flip it. That's fine. It's financial for them. That's okay. They play a part in the ecosystem. But the people who contribute, I think, are the people who are fully aligned with the vision of where we're going with this. And it's twofold. One is every time you put something in the book of lore, it is injected and added to our large language model, which is a trained LLM based on every piece, every word that's been written by the community and by the team. Comic book scripts, the TV stuff, like everything into the game. It's sucked into this LLM, and now you can engage with that large language model. And gosh, you can do so many things. We have almost 5,000 original stories in there, and now there is like this. Think about it like a collective consciousness for everybody's sort of contributions. That's never been possible before. And then we take that collective consciousness, like you said, and then we take that, and that inspires these different media expressions, like the comic book, like the game, like the TV show. There's going to be more games, all these things. And then what's great is because it's on chain, that essentially are rails to be able to kick back royalties to people who are actually contributing. So to us, that's like the virtuous cycle. Years ago, helped start a company and I sold it to Disney. I was inside of like one of the biggest media companies in the world. And, they do a lot of things right. Don't get me wrong. They're amazing. Some of us like their movies, whatever. They do a lot of things right. But what always rubbed me the wrong way is it was a one-way value extraction from the consumer or fan to them, and there was no sharing. I mean, there's cases where like people getting sued by Disney or J.K. Rowling for making their own like content and sharing
Hmm.
it. And so for us, this is our chance to break that, I think, very sort of legacy model that can be improved. And you can only do it with Web3. Sorry, end of rant. But like to me, that's the whole thing. We
Yeah.
need to build a new model that allows people and redefine the relationship between fan and franchise. I'm sorry, I get passionate.
No facts. This is the fucking. I will go to war for this narrative. Like that's where I'm at.
That's it. That's like that is the movement. There's a lot of people doing a lot of special things in the space, and there's room for everybody to win. But I really feel like we can die on this hill. We can change the way people interact with the things that they enjoy, and there can be a deeper relationship. And
Yeah.
I'm just so excited to be kicking it off.
If you're listening to this right now, you are so fucking lucky to be on this timeline, present in this moment. And if it's a later moment present in that one where this is actually a possibility, the fabrication of it is a reality. It can be done, and to know that this is happening here on Ronin, and then also to be happening through a game which we all have nostalgic passion and attachment to. It is prime. So if you really understand the importance of this process, I think this entire project and everything that does happen in and around the Forgotten Runiverse universe is of stark importance to you guys as well. So it's always a pleasure to be able to talk to you guys, Bear Snake, Jitsi, and any time that we can do, and any time that you guys have things to talk about, we'll always be more than willing to host you guys and bring you guys through. Always a pleasure. I think one thing I'm going to ask Bear Snake, I want to be cheeky as fuck because I'm like, right now the Krispy Kreme sign is hot donuts. They're fresh. They're ready. We were trying to get in game today to do like a mass screenshot. But if we wait until there's a bit more stability, because obviously we've got the 75% thing happening right now, but we wait for a bit more stability either today, later on in the week, and we set up a specific time. Let's say it's like a literal snapshot of like 10 to 15 minutes where people can meet up in one location. We get a big fuck off huge wizard cult selfie group photo, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Is there any way that we can distribute a single donut to these people in this photo?
Oh Lord, you are getting spicy. I love this idea so much. I love screenshots of like family in Runiverse. I Listen, I'm not gonna promise anything because Dota will kill me because he's role of managing all the tokenomics.
Yep.
And I'm always like, can we give this person a donut? Can we? He's like, dude, you gotta stop. Like, you're driving me crazy. So, but what I will say is, absolutely, like, DM me and let's talk about it and let's try to figure it out.
Okay. Yep.
Like, dude, I'm all about it.
Yeah, show me. Look. Who wants a donut? If you're in this chat right now, like, there's just donut. No ones, because I know the one works, but don't like donut full caps. And it's not even that much when you think about tokenomics. What we give out 100 donuts. You know, it's like a. Oh, thank you for that.
Who cares?
it's 100 donuts. Come on, man.
Ooh,
That's how I'm gonna
Actually,
pitch it to Dota. It's 100 donuts.
there's
A
50
question-
people here. Like, it's not a lot.
Yeah, exactly. 50 people. That's fine. But a question that I had just like while the devs are here and stuff like that, and maybe it's just me because I haven't actually fully informed myself yet, but I would have liked, Gila, if we could go through the new section on the Mavis Market for the Forgotten Runiverse items and just kind of explain how they're kind of working in regards to the game. Like maybe a lot of people understand how they're working, but from my general understanding, they're home assets, are they? Or is there more things to it?
Yeah, well, we'll get them up right here, so we can take a look.
Because it was a new collection with this open beta thing, right?
Sorry, you cut out for a second.
Oh, sorry. I was
No,
going to say, can we just explain the new collection that's available now in the Mavis Market?
Yes. Are you
Because
talking about the builders crates, possibly?
yeah.
Okay, so the builders crates are a way for us to reward people who play with us day one in this public beta. Just like we had that for Eve of Memory, and there's some unique things that were in closed beta. So I think along the way, as we build things, as we plot along, we want to make sure that we etch in stone, who was there, and this is a part of that. So builders crates, we will reveal what they are when we go live. I'm not, again, I'll get smacked around if I talk about timelines, but they will be very useful in the next build that's coming. And you'll have to just wait. I feel so crappy just saying that, but I think the
No,
excitement
that's fine.
around
Like,
it is important. Yeah.
no, it's just I saw the collection and I was like, obviously, like I'm seeing the prices and I'm like, do I want to scoop a ton of these? Like, is there items inside for like armor wise, or is it kind of just house things or like whatever? Because it kind of leads into my next question of like, I have no idea about how on-chaining things goes or like what your kind of thoughts are for putting stuff on chain with the game. But I'm asking if we're killing a high-end boss at some point, and like in games like Borderlands, like all these games, they have a boss that has a loot pool, right? And what I'm wondering is, at some point, are we going to be able to just say kill a boss and somebody gets the 1% drop, which I absolutely love in the game right now when you're playing in a party and someone gets a drop at the end of the screen? It's so exciting. So I can only imagine when we're doing dungeons and stuff, there's going to be a boss specific item that one person might get like one in every 100 times, and it's going to be super hype. But like what I was wondering is there ever going to be a thing where if we do get one of those items that you will be able to put it on chain and sell it like big, like in the Mavis Market, for example, or is that not the direction you kind of want to go with such items?
No, that is the direction. That's the only
Oh fuck
direction.
yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Oh okay.
I think anything in the game when it comes to items recipes when we go live will be able to be minted onto chain, be able to sell.
Oh
right?
my god.
And
oh my god.
now we start talking about the economy aspect of games that are play to earn. Like everyone said, a year and a half ago, everyone's like, play to earn is dead. It never died. Are you kidding me? This is why we're here. And then that is why, right? Because you can go into this high level dungeon that hopefully at that point we have all the skillful mechanics and ways you play with your friends to be able to beat it. And like you are maybe the 1 or 2% that only can do it with your team, and you can get that one item and you can mint it and go put it on the marketplace. Right? So all these items at like the lower tier that are going to be in the thousands, maybe you only have 5 of that very rare. Right? Like that is the conversations that happen and like internally, and like that is what people really love about a lot of games and MMOs like World of Warcraft, Guild Wars, wherever you want to point to. But like the very special and important moment that should obviously be able to be earned off of, right? Like now it's our job to make sure it's hopefully difficult enough and fun enough for people to do those things. But like, yeah, any item You can mint and put it on
Yeah.
chain. Yes.
It's like the example I gave to you, right? With RuneScape and the cape. Imagine you were able to mint that cape instead of selling your account back in the day. Like, that's what I'm on about. Like, let's just say we kill the final boss and they drop a headpiece that looks fucking sick. Like, I can mint that. That's
Yep.
that. God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is,
Well,
that is planned for sure.
it's gonna get spicy, lads and ladies. But listen, yo, we have been here for a few hours now. I think it's time for us to go ahead and give our thanks. You know, appreciate you guys for showing up and coming through to talk with us. It's like I said, it's always a pleasure. I feel blessed to be able to be attached and closely involved with what's happening with the Forgotten Runiverse right now and being able to play it within this ecosystem. And you know, shout out to all of you Ronins that are out there playing this game too and seeing the value that is here. So. Anything you guys want to leave us with? I know we've got open beta until the 7th of September, so you guys have about a week and a few days. You know, you got to get it done. If you're level 1, oh my god, you need to jump in that fucking game. So
If you're level 1, you have to really look in the mirror and change things about yourself.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say it out. No, what I would say is, I'm joking. I would say it's very important to level up, of course, but it's also equally as important to go to the donut site, donuts.forgottenrunes.com.
yes. Oh yeah, do your dailies, man. Get those cards. We didn't really speak too much on it, but the questing system is beautiful. By the way, I just want to make that known as well. The visual element of it as well is like it's really cool. So.
Our devs and designers are top notch, but definitely don't ignore the donuts. Very important down the road. So make sure you get some donuts. Everybody loves donuts. Don't ignore donuts. But
Donut.
you guys so much for having us. Oh my god, you guys are the best. Love talk. You guys get me so hyped up. And Jitsi, oh my god, I would be nothing without Jitsi. Jitsi is just he's the guy.
Jitsi is a messiah in terms of the game development, man. I'm glad you guys have him on the team, and even just from short compass, you can tell. So Jitsi, salute, double salute to you, brother.
I have never been more bullish after a Woku radio ever in my life. Like, I am so excited to play this game now after this.
Let's get it.
The second I heard that I can mint my item if I get a rare boss drop, I'm done. Like, I'm degenning extra hard, dude.
We're going into the loops today. Jitsi, just a quick question on the 75% thing, because I have a lot of messages about it. That's basically been they're in like a process of maintenance right now about that as well, right?
Yeah, probably throughout the day, there's like moments when that starts happening where they have to make a push and then 15 to 20 minutes it gets resolved. Like we had it happening yesterday too. It'll be an ongoing thing for now, but like they're on top of it. They probably were just asleep this morning and I couldn't get in this morning either. So it's definitely top of priority. There might be some moments where it's happening, but they're going to be on top of it.
Cool. Absolutely. Volume demand. Do we know how many people? We've seen the map, the scale of where users are logging in. It's a global phenomenon right now. In comparison to CBT, is it where you guys want it to be? You don't have to reveal a number, but like I would just imagine the volume is massive.
I would say it's much bigger at a much bigger scale across the board, even on just day one. So people showing up. And you know, again, it's a learning experience when you release something. You sort of see. You get to look at data, you understand, you pivot, you tweak things, and so we're seeing everybody across the world. I mean, how cool is that? People are playing this game like across the entire planet. Let's freaking go!
Oh, dude, speaking of maps, the in-game map, is there ever going to be a way that we can like press M and see like, you know, for the world we're in? Or are you guys wanting it that we'll have to memorize the worlds over time? Like either way is fine, but like I've always found myself pressing M and trying to see where I am in the world map itself, you know?
Like in the actual location, the area,
yeah. Like if you look at Logic Stream right now, if he presses M, like would it like show the area map at some point, or is that not something you guys are thinking about?
There's lots of development around the map.
Okay.
Me.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's enough for me. That's enough for me. Yep.
Also, the only other thing I would say is give me a button, because I'm a fucking magical wizard and I should be able to teleport to exactly where my party leader is standing. That's it. That's for me. Thank you.
Yes. Party. Lots of improvements in the party need to be made too. Just be patient, but we hear you. And by the way, we're gonna have plenty of opportunities for people to give feedback. So we got you guys.
Yeah, when feedback sheets come out, you lot better be. You see how degenerate as fuck you lot are, and when the same way you are in Moki's corner. I don't need you lot to be quiet when feedback opportunities are there. So keep your eyes peeled. But
we don't need smoke being blown. We need real feedback and criticism and all that stuff. So I know you guys will give it. That's why we love you guys.
Thank you.
We like it.
Thanks, y'all.
Yeah, man. Take care. You guys enjoy the day. Listen, yo, that was it for today, bro. Ronin Radio. Actually, it's the Woku Radio. You get all the leaks, and potentially we got some fucking donuts coming. I'm gonna be DMing Bear Snake. Make sure we could, if it's possible, it's gonna happen. So keep your eyes close to the Ronin Radio X account, because we'll make a post out when and where it's happening. If you're in that screenshot, donuts for everybody. All right, so let's make that happen. But yeah, man, what a fucking show. We went for 2 hours, lots of info, lots of updates on what's been going on with Forgotten Runiverse. The talk about PvP, I'm rock solid right now. But I just want to get into the game. I'll be honest, I've been at 75% this entire last hour, so I think we might have to wait a little bit before we get into the game again today. I don't know why the fuck they've let Logic in. It's absolutely criminal that he's the only fucker in the game right now. It's criminal because he's just looping.
I've had no issues.
Okay, but it's criminal that Ryan's there as well.
It's
Two criminals. It's just me. All right, you know what? You know what's actually crazy though? This is real talk. I come home. I'm in England. I load up my old computer. X doesn't load, and Discord wouldn't download the updates. I went and got a VPN, and both of them work. So I don't know if motherfuckers is trying to block whatever shit I got going on over here.
Not it, bro. You gotta get out.
They really trying to close me out, bro. I'm fucking out of here soon. But anyway, we got the show out and where it needed to be. Make sure you guys are tuning into the Woku weekly content. Go to Kezia's X account and give it a repost, and make sure you're reading through it. There is a secret code in there. You should have been able to see it. It's pretty easy. I think I made the statement that the Woku weekly team, you guys, you're catering for fucking Mongols right now. Make that secret code harder. That is my agenda for next week. We'll see what we can do with it.
Okay.
But
I mean, we definitely had a harder version, but we decided to make it a little bit easier. But yeah,
the harder version would have got me hard too, because I know what it looked like. All right, and that's just inside stuff. Whatever, you just leave it there. But we will be in Moki's Corner for the rest of today. I'm going to be playing some games. I got to get my bounty board done. I didn't even speak about it today, but I'll just say it. Premier bounty board is fucking sexy. The last 2 months, I've made over 25 AXS, bro. That's that's yield. I don't give a fuck what you say. Yes, I have collectible axes, but that is what you call playing and earning a little piece right there. So Premier Bounty Board Fire should be doing it every single day. If you're not, I don't know, crazy. If you're not, and it's because you don't have the slips for it, or you just go off of what you get given, so it doesn't really feel that rewarding. I get it, but all I'm gonna say is get good and get a collectible axe and see if someone's giving one away. Or I don't know. I was gonna suggest things that are probably not morally correct, but anyway, we hope you enjoyed today's show. Thank you for Finn for coming through. Thank you to Bruce, who was here for a few moments. Nix came through as well, the legend. Ryan, much love for coming up and asking the question that you did in the moment that you did. It kept that combo going. We love it. And anybody out there in the community, you're more than welcome to request to come up and, I might read your name, look at your PFP and think, is this guy going to just come up here and talk shit? But maybe I'll allow you anyway, because we want to get back to that. When we had Twitter Spaces, we had any and everybody come up and it was a fun time. So we're still in that bag. We're still in that mode. If you're in this community, you're more part of the show than you think. But thank you guys for tuning in today. We've had a couple hundred, just over 100 plus people on the stream too. So shout out to those guys that came through on that side. And yeah, man, you know what it is. Every single Tuesday, Woku team, me and Logic, we're gonna be here running you up with all of the updates, and if we can, getting you some rewards and leaks. So thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you on Friday, where we are live in Ronin Discord. We actually need to do a little bit more, because I don't think we've got into the bag of promoting the shows well enough yet. We've worked hard on the post stuff. I've said this before last week, but we still need to get on top of the build up to the show, so that people know where it is, they know what time it is, and we can start adding it to regular scheduled programs, and people can be pulling up and pulling through. So that's something we'll look to do over the next few days. One thing I do have to announce right here, call to actions. Obviously Moku has its quests on Forgotten Runiverse as well, so as well as the daily quests, or the daily donut you can be doing for the Forgotten Runiverse, and the cards that you can be redeeming right now, you should be also going into Moku HQ and redeeming those quests, because why the fuck not? Get yourself some points, some rolls. You can even win a wizard right now from the Moku shop, right? It's kind of crazy.
We won it, dude.
bro.
Crazy.
No, Logic, shut the fuck up, dude. No, dude. I came off of a call and it was like such bad vibes, and then I get this congratulations message from Logic. I'm like, holy fuck, what did I win?
No, he didn't win it, did it?
No, I didn't win it.
Oh, okay,
Like,
fuck.
bro, that was dude, that was the worst timing for that troll. I was like, bro, what did I win? Like, this is such good news right now. Like, what happened?
I needed this.
Yeah, I needed something.
Oh shit.
Logic, bro, that was awful, dude.
They put the power into the hands of a menace, bro. It's fucking crazy. Anyway, but those things are there. So make sure you're completing your quest. If you can't find the secret code, get your eyes tested tomorrow because you fucking something's wrong with you. But yeah, man, go to do the normal shenanigans, bounty board, everything like that, and let's continue to have fun with our silly little crypto games. Finn said it earlier on in the show. September, back end of September, October could be pretty fucking crazy. So if you think it's hectic now, just understand this is the quiet before more storms. We're coming towards the end of the year. 2024 has been the year of product, and it has lived up to its name so far. I'm really enjoying the space as it is.
I'm not gonna lie, Zoe Lord, I don't Moku that often. I wasn't even paying attention to the secret code.
You didn't see it? It's in the pages. It's in the pages for sure.
When are you doing a
I'm
Lego
sorry.
building live stream? We need a Lego building
I
stream.
could do one. We could do one today. I've got a
What?
set.
Did you
sitting
get the
next to me.
butthole tiger yet? You need to get the butthole tiger, bro.
I didn't get the butthole tiger. I have been tempted. I have. I just built. I think I posted here. I'll turn my camera on so you can see. I just built.
Bro, I love building Lego. Oh,
Yeah.
Just got the
That's dope.
piranha.
Bro, I bet you that shit was like $200, bro. Lego is not cheap.
yeah, but
No. This was. I think this was $40.
Oh, fuck. I might have to get some myself.
$40.
Lego is expensive as fuck, but I love building Lego, dude. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Look at my room. I've probably got more in Legos than some NFT projects.
Yeah.
Facts. We'll have to do one soon, bro. We'll do
Like they're everywhere.
do a stream, bro. I know you've done one before, but we could do one.
I
Stop
have
trying to
a
steal
set
your Legos.
right
No
here.
one's gonna be your exit liquidity.
I'm trying to sell them on the second. I'm trying to offload my Legos.
Lego sets, guys.
It's the new meta. New meta. Yeah. Fuck.
Where's
All right, then. Well,
Alabaster?
okay, Finn, you can take this to the Moki's Corner. Thank you for tuning into the Ronin Radio. We'll be in Moki's Corner. We will be degenerate all day. So thank you and good night. I will see you on Friday. Make sure you guys are there. And yeah, bye. Yeah. I mean, bye. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. Logic just said fucking brug it.
They call me Mr. Worldwide.
Oh boy. Oh, here we go.